Okay, we're going to continue the next lesson, which is adding in the aggregate values or group bys. In the syllabus, I ask you to do some counts and bring back some values. So we're going to add an aggregate function up here, and we'll add the count function. You notice that it turns pink. It's a math calculation, it's an expression, and it returns a value of an integer. So we're going to do of e dot last name and the JT dot classification name. So I'm bringing back in my clause a count and then the person's EEO classification by name. Now when I run this, it's going to error out. And the reason it's erroring out, it says you cannot have a column classification name up here in a group by if it's not an aggregate function. So because I have group by here and I don't have it as a count, it will not operate. How to fix that is add the group by statement. So if I add the group by statement here and I add this value in there, you'll notice now it works fine. There are 2 workers with craft, there are 2 workers with office clerical, 2 workers that are officials and managers, and so forth. This is how I applied the aggregate function by last names. I can add more criteria in here, and I'll add one more piece of criteria in here. Let's do e dot, salary is a good one. Just as an example. Now I've got to add it in here also in my group by, or it won't work. It'll give me the same error message. Now I'm filtering it even a little bit more in depth. You notice before I had only a few records, now I've got many more records because inside each EEO classification they all have different salaries. So at the salary of $43.54, I actually have 3 workers at that salary. I've got all these other salaries per the EEO classification name and by the counts. So this is an example of how to do aggregates. There's 4 required aggregate calculations in this part in week 3 assignment. This is just showing you examples of how to start using those aggregate functions. It does help quite a bit so you can see what's going on. And that concludes this lesson.